What is up, guys? It's Melted Hand again, coming at you with a really important video actually. This will be 5 things beginners should know in CarX Drift Racing. And honestly, I think some of this can even apply to almost any drifting game, period. Forza, Assetto Corsa, all those games, even Dirt, some of this will apply. Not everything, trust me. But let's go ahead and start with number one. Number one, the game will steer opposite for you in a drift. Now what that means, if I bring up some footage here, when you look at the bottom right, you will see that as I enter a turn, the blue line starts to come outward and you'll see my wheels automatically turn. That's not my input. That is the game auto-correcting for your drifting. Now this is very important because you only have to control where the car goes, not so much control the drift. You still have to, worry about too much acceleration, too much braking, anything like that. It's not a, automatic drift machine. You still have to control it, but it does help you in the sense of steering. This means that you only have to, if you want to go tighter in a turn, you have to turn inwards a little bit. If you want to go out, you turn out, obviously. If you want more angle, you pull the handbrake, or in my case, you tap the front brake. There's multiple different things, but I'm not focused on the drift per se. I'm focused on where do I want to go on the track. And that's why I put this as number one, because once you learn that mechanic in the game, everything else in CarX is pretty easy to figure out. Number two, master the Scandinavian Flick. Now, you guys have seen the Scandinavian Flick. I guarantee you've seen the Scandinavian Flick. I will pull up a paper right here. Bam. Now, the Scandinavian Flick is using weight transfer and momentum to cause your car to lose the back end. This is really important in low horsepower cars, but it doesn't really matter what horsepower your car is to use it. Almost every stream that I'm in, every drift that I initiate, I'm probably using the Scandinavian Flick. And all that is just a simple little snake movement. Say you're going to drift to the right. So you want to kind of cut outward. And right when you get towards the edge of the track, you want to cut back inward. And that should be enough momentum through weight transfer to throw your car into a drift. This is very important to know. This can even be used in dirt. I've used it in Forza. I've used it in Assetto Corsa back in the day. It's a very universal trick. And once you do it, you probably do it without even thinking, actually, to try and force the car to go sideways. Number 3, manual gears. I cannot stress enough. In drifting, you have to maintain the power band of your vehicle. The power band generally sits around red line, usually before, but you don't want your car shifting gears randomly. So if I'm drifting and it stays in gear, CarX does a great job of staying in gear when you're drifting. It very rarely cuts to another gear or anything like that, unless you slow down excessively or you're holding a drift for a long time. It might go to the next gear. But once you finish that drift, it's going to automatically want to go to the next gear. So that's where manual comes in, where you kind of want to sit in the same gear, say third gear, the entire time. Then you don't have to worry about it changing gears on you. You're just in third gear the entire time. And you control the power of your car. Number 4, do not go wild buying upgrades. I know that's like the first thing that you want to do. You want to come in here, the second you find out that you can put upgrades on a car, Like this, you could put a body kit. Look at this. Oh my goodness, body kits. Oh, they're so amazing. They're so awesome. Don't buy them. I'm 100% serious. Cosmetics should be the last thing that you worry about. What you should focus on, firstly, especially starting out on the first car of the game, you want to change the mods. You want to put drift as the very first thing that you get. This will make a drastic improvement in the amount of points that you get per track. Eventually you can buy ultimate if you really like to customize every little detail. This is what most people start doing once they really get comfortable with the game. They put it on ultimate and they just go crazy. I've seen a lot of insane builds on ultimate. I've watched people drift backwards. I've watched people rip 360s every single turn. It's mind-blowing. I've watched a guy drift a turn backwards, flip around, drift a turn forwards, and then flip back around again and drift it backwards. I don't know how these people do it. They're absolutely insane, but they have figured out the system, and you can only really do that with ultimate tuning. Your first objective, guaranteed in this entire game, is to buy drift. Buy the drift mod. Don't do any tunings. Don't go over here to the dyno stand. You don't even need to mess with it. You don't need to mess with any of this stuff. If you want to, I have a tuning video that should pop up, and you will be able to follow that to try and tune your vehicle. The main reason I say do not buy all these cosmetics is because you have a class system here. Class 1 is your beginner cars. These will all get 1x experience and money on the track, if that makes sense. Now you go to class 2, that's 2x multiplier when you finish a track. If you look at when you finish a track, you'll have points, multipliers, and then you'll have the final amount, and that final amount will give you X amount of money. So the higher class that you have, the more money you're going to get. What I would recommend, if the second you get a chance, put drift on the Hachiroko, the AE86, and then once you have drift, run drift until you basically have enough money to buy a class 2 vehicle. Class 2, you're not going to pay more than 100,000, I believe. I don't have everything open anymore. I do apologize. But yeah, see, class 3 starts at 100,000. So if you get about 100,000, you can buy a class 2 vehicle, but keep running the Hachiroko, because you're going to need the money. You're going to need the drift aspect, because you're going to buy this car and it's going to be stock. Or save up double the amount, and that's generally how much it will cost to upgrade to drift. Let's see. Let's purchase, I don't know, let's purchase, well, I've already got the Pirate. Yeah, we'll purchase the R8, RX8. 80,000 right there. See, it's stock. Now, drift is another 36,000 on top of that. But once you buy drift, you can go super crazy, and you'll get 2x multiplier, which is very important. Try and work your way like this all the way through the classes until you can get to class 5. Once you get to class 5, run your class 5 vehicle exclusively. The second you put drift on, the second you get to it, you're going to be earning 5x the amount that you normally would running a track. And that becomes very important when you unlock a track called San Palazzo. San Palazzo. I don't know how you say it. You can see my best is 91,000. This will give you about 500,000 money in one run if you can nail about 90,000. Even if you get 70,000, you're still earning 300,000-400,000 per run on this one track versus maybe the 10-20k you were getting on parking A. So keep that in mind, and also remember that track, because really that is where you earn your money. Number 5, when to join a multiplayer server and what to expect. So when you first join in the game, the first thing you want to do is tandem. I guarantee you, you're going to want to tandem with people. Get used to the game, get used to how it feels, and get comfortable running a track without any mistakes. That's what I will say. When you can run, let's see what tracks we have. If you can run parking A, oh geez, I accidentally clicked on that. If you can run parking A, Navarro Base, Springstone, even San Pelazio. I do mess up sometimes on San Pelazio, so don't let that be a huge judge. All these other ones, you don't really have to worry about these guys. If you can run these pretty consistently and you're getting the same amount, then you're pretty much ready to jump into a multiplayer server. Now what to expect? Look at this. Look at this room list. Boom. You've got free money, drift and chill, donut shops, you know, silly little things. None of this matters. Go with what you want to go with. I tend to hang out in Tandem and Chills on Red Rock. Between Red Rock, in East Toge, and Kami Road. Those are usually the three that we run on stream, and those are the three that you'll usually find me on off stream. Join any of those lobbies if you want a tandem, because those are pretty much dedicated tandem tracks. What to expect in a server. And there are some really hot tandem people out there. I mean, it's almost scary how well they can keep up with you. Trust me. Besides griefers, unfortunately console players, I do hate to say, you kind of get the raw end of the deal because you can't ghost your car, essentially. So if they have collisions on in the server, which more than likely they do for tandem runs, then you're going to have to worry about griefers. Other than that, you can expect generally a pretty chilled out environment. I mean, people are only there for one reason, and that's the tandem. And you can learn a lot just by tandeming with people, really. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you think. If there's anything that maybe I missed, please don't forget to like and subscribe. It very much helps my channel out. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.